Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I have to talk about one of the worst decisions ever made, replacing the Avengers with facsimiles, with pretenders, with posers. And of course, that was all done under the guise of equality, or equity in this case, and of course, the other neo-Marxist ideas that Disney was into at the time. Well, so much for that, because as they bring back some of those quote-unquote new Avengers, nobody really cares, and we're going to talk about it. So, here we go. Now, before we get started, just a real quick reminder, I am trying to get to 50K, so double check you're still subscribed. If not, click the little red subscribe button, or whatever color it happens to be, and have it say subscribe. Then hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications, hit the thumbs up button, and you're already on your way to helping the channel today, which I appreciate. Oh, and while you're down there, during the course of the video, make some comments. Let me know what you think about these actions, these statements, and this story. You see, Cassie Lang is returning for Avengers Doomsday with a little fanfare. Now, this comes to us from our friends over at That Park Place, where I've written a number of stories recently, but Trevor is writing great stuff lately, and I have to say thank you to Trevor. Let's jump on the story right now. Cassie Lang, a character seen in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, is returning for Avengers Doomsday. The film is being positioned as a massive multiverse-spanning event. Earlier casting announcements of legacy characters and Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a different character sparked some discussion online.
Man, what are we, a team?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
And I'll just say it this way. Most of it rather negative, which I don't think anybody has any trouble believing. He's not playing a character that anybody's, well, all that familiar with after the Fox X-Men kind of disappeared, or the original version of the Fantastic Four, which, well, also disappeared. The latest news, however, is being met with a degree of irritation at best and indifference at worst. The reaction of, or lack thereof, is a reminder that the MCU's past missteps have come back to haunt them. It also suggests that Disney's marketing may be out of tune with the audience. Really? Out of tune with the audience? You don't say.
I think we're done is the point that he's making. I don't think there's any reason.
Point is, you're welcome.
I don't think anybody wants any of this. This is a low-key reveal in a high-stakes rollout that, again, there is zero hype for. Kathryn Newton, the actress who's playing Cassie Lang in Quantumania, made the announcement in an Instagram post just a few days ago. And a video shows her unpacking a small director's chair in a nod to last year's ridiculous 5-hour live stream. The chair stream was probably one of the worst conceived ideas ever, and also terribly executed. Well, Cassie Lang is going to get as tiny of a role as she has as tiny of a chair. At least that's what Newton says in the video. And you know what? Good. Variety notes that the reveal is hardly a surprise. Cassie Lang was briefly featured in the Avengers Doomsday trailer shown at Cineacon the night before her post. Still, nearly all of the comments on her personal account were positive, which is to be expected. The wider conversation online has been considerably less enthusiastic, and that's saying something. Avengers Doomsday is already packed with characters. While Cassie Lang's return may be noteworthy for fans, or for the actress herself, Quantumania was a major box office disappointment. Well, I'll say it in a less kind way. It was a massive flop. It lost a ton of money, and it also showed the limitations of the volume as a production quality studio, because it made everything in the background look flat and unrealistic. And that's a big issue that they still haven't been able to fix over at Disney. This latest announcement is objectively news, yet it seems to be doing little to build any hype for a film that, I'm going to tell you right now, despite the massive investment and the need to be a success, there is no hype for anywhere out there. Online indifference, you don't say. One comment at Variety's X post put it bluntly: who's Cassie Lang and why does it matter? You know what? That's a good one. Another one says, I hope she tries to teach us more about how capitalism is bad and attends more protests and harasses more cops, said another. The official confirmation that Cassie Lang will be in Avengers Doomsday has led to some online speculation that Marvel might be setting up the Young Avengers spinoff. Please don't. you will lose so much money. Nobody likes any of those characters. Nobody wants any of that mess. And despite you having one actress in there that's worth her salt, the rest of them are really not bringing a lot of audience to the table. And you really fumbled that particular reveal in TV. You should have tried to build these characters up over films and not resort to the MC or MCU on the Disney Minus application. I think that's where it got hurt the most. Considering how each of the members of that potential team have been portrayed on screen, as I just mentioned, ex-user Mr. Know-It-All noted Cassie Lang was a real biatch to her dad and came across as a spoiled, privileged white chick. Well, that's saying the truth, isn't it? Yeah, and this is a big problem. A lot of people on social media have no interest in these characters, this character in particular, or even in seeing the Doomsday film. That's bad news for Disney. And though some of the comments online focus on Newton's ability to bring the character to life, barely, the primary focus seems to be on the Cassie Lang character herself. One user wrote, "No hate to Kathryn Newton, but are we pretending Cassie Lang suddenly became must-watch material? Be serious for 2 seconds." And that's the big problem over there at Marvel. They are incapable of being serious or even understanding what the audience is looking for. And that's really frustrating to people who were huge fans of the Avengers team-up films. And remember, those team-up films couldn't happen in a vacuum. You had to create an entire universe, and you started with Iron Man. And then you had, well, a couple of other good films, and then we had the Avengers, which was great. I think a lot of people really enjoyed that. But there's no hype. There's a hype gap. And passive acknowledgement that Cassie Lang will return in Avengers Doomsday rather than a passionate response highlights the underlying issue when everything is a reveal and nothing feels like one. Because so far, it's been 4 teasers and then whatever was at Cineacon. Nobody's hyped for any of that. All of these things are just background noise, as it says here in the article. And that's not a way to relaunch your universe or one new version of your universe, maybe less the TVA. And hopefully that's the direction that Marvel elects to go in the future, getting rid of the TVA and all the time variations that exist out there, because that storyline is played out and stupid, and there are no stakes. When you can just go back to the past and grab another character from before, there's no stakes at all. It's boring. It's terrible. Death needs to be permanent. There needs to be real life consequences to the decisions that these writers, directors, and any other person that wants to claim they're a creative do in the real world. They need to be real for the fans, and they need to be real as in, can't take it back. It's done.
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
And I would encourage you to go and check out Trevor's article, because there's a few more paragraphs in here I wish people would focus on. The fact that nobody's really terribly interested in this film is obvious to anybody. But I think the financial devastation of the amount of money they're putting into it is going to be catastrophic for Disney, which is why you're starting to see massive pivots all over the place, including the theme parks, aiming more at a family message than at divisive identity politics, which is something they could ill afford even back when they were doing it 5 years ago. On that note, I'm done. I want to know what you think. Do you think that Doomsday is truly doomed, as I've been saying all along? Do you think there's been any hype for it whatsoever? Do you think Cineacon made a difference? Or do you think that this is going to be one of the most expensive yawns ever, and it's all because of Bob Iger, Kevin Feige, and, some other people that were willing to compromise themselves in the name of politics and messaging? Anyway, your thoughts are as good as mine, so leave them down below. If you have any questions, I do want to talk with you. Those are some things I like to do. And have you seen the new That Garden Place video? Whew, good stuff. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. Just probably only for one trip to Doomsday, so I can review it for you so you don't have to go.